Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex with my co-host Anthony Rivardo. Once at the fireside, always at the fireside, my friends. Today we got a really special guest for you guys. Rodarius Williams, nicknamed Lily. I saw that in another interview. Really cool nickname now. That's your middle name. So excited to talk to you, my friend. And coming to Big Blue in this whole process has just been incredible. And we live streamed the draft. I saw the video of you in that moment you had, just realizing that your dreams just came to fruition. And we're so excited to get to meet you. And how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Just blessed to be able to wake up on this wonderful day, man, and enjoy this moment with the fans.
Absolutely. So where are you at right now? Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Texas right now. Just moving in.
Texas right now?
Yeah, just get everything situated right now.
Nice. So when are you coming up to New York?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So they have like I guess they just kind of structured all the dates and stuff coming up in a few weeks. Are you excited to come up to the team and meet everybody?
Man, I'm really excited, man. I've been waiting on this moment my whole life.
It's awesome, man. New York is a special place. Either you are loved by every single person or you're the most hated person in the world. New York is insane, but I know you're up to the task. You've been in those big moments. You know what it takes to win games and play at the highest level. And I'm excited for you to join, this team, this up and coming team, really. When you were talking, I imagine you spoke to Joe Judge a little bit, some of these coaching staff members. What was your first impression of this organization, just the way they're speaking and the good things I imagine they had to say? Because I know this team is up and coming. They have some really good players. They spent a lot of money in free agency to bolster the offensive side and defensive side. You have some great players in front of you to help you learn this system. So what was that process like talking to Joe Judge and some of these coaching staff members? And what were the vibes they gave off?
Man, it was just real genuine vibes. It was real. It was a real conversation. It wasn't a conversation to blow smoke up my, poke up my ass. It was a real deal conversation. Like, man, we know when you got drafted. You deserve more. So you gotta come in with a chip on your shoulder and work. And there ain't gonna be no handouts. You're gonna come in and do some things that you didn't do in college. I didn't play a lot of special teams in college, so I have to make that adjustment. To help the team win. To just show up and do what I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I saw your draft pick, I was like, not only are you a developing cornerback, and I saw you learned a lot of press coverage last year, and that was something you refined, and I want to talk about that in a little bit, but also your application on special teams, really great straightaway runner, and I think you would be an awesome gunner for us. And Joe Judge, he has special teams background. That unit is so important for us on the Giants, because last year, we had some troubles at times. Our guy Cody Core went down with an injury preseason, and we had some issues at gunner. And I think, your application day one, even if you're climbing the ranks through the special teams to get to that thing, like, what is that process like for you? Are you excited just to get that opportunity, whether it's on special teams, a secondary role? You're just excited to be in the NFL and kind of work your way up, right?
Yeah, man. My whole life, I've been earning things, and I ain't never had a handout, I never had a helping hand, my whole life I just been earning things. So this is another thing added to my arsenal, fuel of fire, to something that I just, wake up and gonna be able to grind, man, and earn a job, whether it's on defense, special teams, whatever, I'm coming in, I'm gonna earn me a spot.
Absolutely. You mentioned that chip on your shoulder before. What is that major motivating factor that you have in your life that's just like, that's going to kick my ass every single day and get me ready for game day or get me ready for practice, whatever it might be that you're thinking about in the middle of the game, and you got thousands of people around you and you're like, I'm going to make this play right now. Like, what's that motivational piece that you think about that just drives everything?
Just knowing that everybody don't expect me to do it. So that motivates me a lot. Just a lot of people don't expect it from me. So I always love to surprise everybody. From fans to family members on down to previous coaches I had in the past. Just a lot of people. Just hang their hats over my head. He got a ceiling. He limited. So I just love to prove people wrong, man. And I don't do too much talking. I'm show up and you're gonna see it on film.
Absolutely. I love players that have that internal motivational factor. They're not using other things. They just want it because they want to prove everybody wrong. And I found that those players are the ones that end up doing the best. So I love to hear that, my friend. And I know your brother's Greedy Williams. How has he helped you in this process? Just through this draft process, and you're headed to the NFL now. Has he given you any big tips on what you can do to make yourself a better player? At this next level, like immediately.
He gave me a lot of tips and pointers for as, taking care of my body, and really training, on a professional level, for as, in college, it's more of a nurturing, they do everything for you, and now I'm on my own, so just being alongside my brother, really learning how, to train 2 times a day, right nutrition, right foods, You know, it's been a real great help, you know, to have somebody right on side of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just that companionship in this process, and also just being able to become a better player because you guys play the same position. So I imagine you can work together to get better and test each other. So that's probably an awesome relationship to have. You know, you guys can iron sharpens iron, they say. So I love to hear that. You got that family member already in the NFL. And you guys can make each other better. But I want to get to know you a little bit. Behind the scenes. What you like to do, what your hobbies are. I know you would mention you love to play Madden and Call of Duty. You playing Cold War, you playing Warzone. We want to get to know you on that personal level because I know the fans they love to hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, born and raised, and I got a 2-year-old daughter. She just turned 2, April 1st. Her name is Riley.
Congratulations.
And I met her mom, in college my freshman year. And we still sticking things out. She's still around. and man, for my hobbies, mainly I just spend time at home, with my daughter, playing a game with my brother, and chilling. I ain't too big on getting out and just doing things. I just like to just chill with my daughter, because football take a lot of time away from her. So whatever chance I get, I'm just chilling with her.
I love to hear that because we've had some problems in the past couple of years with players doing crazy things and going out and getting in trouble and stuff. So we like to hear players who committed to your family, committed to football. That's the primary goals here in life. So I think you got it down pat. I'm happy to hear congratulations for your daughter. Turning 2 years old. That's awesome, man. I'm really happy to hear that she's doing well. And you're spending time with her because that's super important. But Anthony, I'll give you some time to answer to ask some questions for yourself.
Yeah, I'll jump into the more football side of things. You just got drafted 6th round. A lot of people thought that you were kind of a 4th round prospect. You should have gone a lot earlier. What kind of chip does that give you on your shoulder? Going into the league, you kind of just were looked over by some teams, and finally you found your home here with the New York Giants in the 6th round. But falling all the way to the 6th round, does that give you like a chip on your shoulder, motivating factor?
Yeah, definitely a motivating factor. Coming into the draft, I already kind of had that mindset of I was gonna get the less end of the stick. So I already kind of like prepared myself, for the worst case scenario. So I was already ready, and my main thing was to find a great team, great home. And look what God gave me. A great team, and I'm ready to get to New York, man. And right now I'm hearing great things from everyone. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of this organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on draft day, what was that process like, just waiting for your name to be called? I imagine that's probably a nerve-wracking experience.
I ain't even gonna lie, man. I'm gonna shoot y'all straight, man. It was hard. It was hard watching that TV, man, and watching corners go before you. It wasn't even 10 corners that had a better season than me. So why I feel, why I'm here in this position, nobody know that but God. So God put me in this position, to prove people wrong, and just I'm continue to do.
Definitely. You are where you are for a reason. We're all really happy to have you here on the New York Giants. And so, you as a cornerback, though, what do you see as your biggest strengths playing the game?
Definitely, my man coverage. I love to get up in wide receivers' faces, man, and make them earn it, make them earn their name that the social media gave them. I love to make them, work for every dime.
Yeah, definitely. And is that the coverage that you're most comfortable in? You like playing press man coverage the most?
I play any coverage, but yeah, I go to man coverage, just to show them like I'm a real corner out here.
Definitely. And you played on the outside for most of your time at Oklahoma State. Is that where you think that you'll fit best in the league, or are you ready to move around, maybe play some in the slot and, kind of travel around?
I had a little taste of the slot, in college, and I feel like I'm comfortable wherever I go. Like I said, man, I'm versatile, and I'm wherever, the DC need me to be.
Definitely. And one of the ways that you stood out in this pre-draft process is you had a really good week down at the Senior Bowl. When you were down there, did you get to meet with the Giants and speak to them? And then did they kind of keep in contact with you leading up to the draft?
Yes, I had met with them, and then they told me I did real good with the interviews. My film was phenomenal, and it was like, hope we can get you in the building, and after the Senior Bowl, they definitely hit me up on Zoom, had a few meetings here and there, with different personnel and scouting coaches and stuff like that, so I was really familiar with you guys, leading up to the draft, and with what they were saying was they hope that I get in the building, and look where I'm at, so everything just played right into my favor.
For sure. And speaking about, getting in the building, rookie mini camps start next week. How excited are you to finally get in the facility and start, kind of your first day on the job as an NFL player?
Man, I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited to learn. I don't think I ever been this excited to learn. So just a whole different environment for as, being in college for 5 years, and I'm on a different platform. Everything is new. You have to learn everything, where to go, with timing, so I'm just thrilled, man. I'm ready to get rolling.
Definitely. And then, jumping back into the Senior Bowl questions, when you were there, what was like your toughest matchup that you faced? Which wide receiver gave you, your most run for your money and you kind of learned the most from him and became a better player playing against?
I wouldn't say it was a tough wide receiver down there. Far as on my team, I didn't play in the game, so I don't know the opposing opponents. But far as on my team, everyone was pretty much solid, and they'll tell you that I handle my business.
Definitely. Yep. Handle that business. And then, throughout the week of the Senior Bowl, like, what was your biggest learning experience while you were there? Like, what did you gain the most being down in Mobile?
The special teams was really serious. Yeah, because in college, I didn't have a high demand of special teams because I rarely came out the field on defense. So special team was kind of like my break recovery. So I really learned that special teams, man, is the #1 priority in the league. You want to make the 53, you're going to have to do special teams. So I really took that learning curve and just added that in the back of my head, like, yeah, we're going to get special teams done.
Yeah, special teams is very, very important in the NFL, especially to a guy like Joe Judge. He always rants and raves about how important special teams is. So have you been, throughout the pre-draft process, training and preparing and trying to learn the special teams game a little bit better so you're fully prepared once you get to the Giants?
Yeah, I touched a few bases on it, but mainly I've been working on, my main position, corner work. It all plays hand in hand. It's, at the end of the day, it's all just running and tackling. So it wouldn't be anything too crazy that I have to learn for as special team goes.
Yeah, you were one of a few Senior Bowl standouts that the Giants ended up drafting as well. A couple other guys that they drafted, Kadarius Toney was over there, Aaron Robinson as well, another corner. Yeah. So did you get to know these guys in Mobile at all? And how excited are you to call talented players like that your teammates?
They was on the opposing team, but they did hit me up throughout the process. I'm talking to a few of those guys right now, and they just excited as well as I am, and it's real good to have guys like that, knowing that we all competing for basically the same spot. With A-Rob, we compete for the same spot, and knowing that, he reaching out to me on some brotherly love, it's real good knowing that, we bonding immediately.
For sure. And then over at Oklahoma State, you were a 4-year starter there, and you hold a record for starting 48 consecutive games. What went into that? Like, how do you keep your body prepared and ready to go week in and week out?
Sometimes you just have to grit your teeth, man, and say, if I'm breathing, I can play. I definitely, took a few injuries in college. I didn't show up every game 100%. So my main mentality was, man, if I'm breathing, I can play. So I just take that mentality wherever I go, man, and just give it my all.
Yeah, and another interesting thing about you is you are 24 years old, and that was something that in the pre-draft process before the Giants drafted anyone, Dave Gettleman was discussing rookies and how he kind of wanted to get some older rookies, some guys with a little bit more experience. He did mention that in one of his press conferences. And so I'm curious to know, at 24 years old, you are older than the average rookie, but what kind of competitive advantage do you gain from being a 24-year-old rookie?
I'm definitely going to show them, man. We're going to figure out, at the end of this, when all this is said and done, we're going to see who's still standing. We're going to really see if the age really played a big part in, where I ended up at, because I'm definitely going to be one of the lone survivor. I know how to survive, so those 19-year-olds, my car going to be still running. While when they go on the side of the road, need some insurance and need some more brakes and all that, I'm forward tough.
I love that analogy. Forward tough, baby. That's awesome. But what are those things that you bring, like your strengths? Like if you give me like 3 strengths that you bring to this team, I know durability might be one of them. You're said if you're breathing, you could be in a wheelchair, you'll be wheeling the hell out there and trying to kick some ass. So I'm excited to hear, what do you think that your strengths are that you're bringing to the scene?
Definitely, versatile. I'm a great teammate. I'm relatable. Shoot, and I'm coachable. I don't got no character issues, no problems off the field. I'm bringing true leadership from the back end. Willing to learn. I ain't too big on myself. I'm a laid back guy. So I think I'm gonna be real good in New York.
Absolutely, we love it when guys just play football and do well and work the system. You know what? Joe Judge loves that too, because we've seen what happens to players that stand out on special teams. They get starting opportunities. They get opportunities on the field. Like Cam Brown last year, Carter Coughlin, these guys, injuries happen, NFL injuries happen. You got to be ready for that. And those special teams guys, those guys that stand out, they're the first ones to get the crack. So I think you got the right mindset in terms of, working hard there and preparing for that next step, man. So I think that's awesome. And you know what? You have a lot of great players to work with right now in the defensive backcourt. You got James Bradbury, you got Adoree Jackson. We just signed a 3-year, $39 million deal. He got his bag. So you got some great players to work around. Darnay Holmes, of course, A-Rob. What is it like to be with those guys? Are you excited to learn from them? Have you spoken to any of them? I know that they probably have a lot of mentorship and a lot of things they can teach you at the next level.
Yeah, Logan Ryan hit me up, and Adoree, just like welcome the bro to the team, and it's real good that you got guys, they reach out to you and just welcoming you into the team, knowing that, we fighting for the same job, so it's always good that you got guys that's, team first guys and not, myself, willing to help you learn and come along rather than saying you're going to learn it on your own. I'm already paid. I got my job solidified, so they can easily give me the cold shoulder. But they welcome me in with open arms just as well as the fans, so that's why I feel like, I'm here, and it's a great decision and great process, great team, great fam, I'm ready to get rolling.
Absolutely. I mean, Logan Ryan, he is that guy, like the guy you just described in terms of welcoming people. I mean, he just helped bring Adoree Jackson to New York. He helped, tremendously in this process of recruiting this past offseason to get some of these big players here. And now you got an offense, I know, you probably watched, Daniel Jones and that crazy 80-yard run. He stumbled over himself and fell down, classic Danny Dimes, So, what are you most excited about for that offense? I mean, you got Saquon on your team now. You know what Saquon can do. You've seen him and this magic that he's got. Even in Madden, I got him on my Madden team. The guy's a freaking animal. So it's ridiculous. Who are you most excited to watch and go up against, in practice on that offensive side of the ball?
Man, I don't want to just speak too much ahead of myself, but, man, I feel like New York Giants, man, I feel like we own something. I feel like, man, just for looking at the roster, man, and actually seeing Kadarius Toney and a lot of those guys actually perform in front of my eyes. So I know what they bring to the table for as like watching one highlight, on film. So I watch him everyday practice, and man, it's going to be a special season. If everything played a part where I got it in my head, I feel like offense, defense, special teams, I feel like everything's going to click on all cylinders, man. And shoot, I might be a rookie champ.
Man, I think you and I both have the same mindset, my man. we're on the same boat. We think you guys could be sick. We think both, like you said, all cylinders firing. You have some unbelievable talent. You know what? I've been watching Kadarius Toney for a couple of days now, and I posted one highlight on my Twitter. And this guy, he puts his knee down in the dirt, and it was I don't know if you saw that highlight, but I think it was against Florida State. And he literally broke the guy's leg, like straight up. I think the guy that he juked out of his shoes broke. I think he tore his ACL. Like he literally tore the guy's ACL with that move that he pulled. And I don't know how he didn't tear his own. His leg was wild. He's like a contortionist, man. So Kadarius Toney is wild. We finally executed a draft and we went best player available at all stages. So, we got Azeez Ojulari, as A-Rob, who's more of a nickel back. So you'll be able to, work with him and a little bit different. But I think for the most part, this draft class we walked away with might have been one of the best draft classes we've had in the past decade, which is really strong to say, So you are part of a very strong class that we are very, very excited about. Giants fans are ecstatic. This is the first time analysts are giving this draft class like an A+ grade. So, how does it feel to be a part of something that has been just so welcomed by fans when in the past it might not have been as welcomed?
Man, it's far as just my draft status, man, we all know, how they went. But, even with that, man, God just keep on opening doors and sending blessings, towards me, and now, we bringing these blessings to New York, man, far as, with my draft class, like you said, man, we got a lot of athletes that can go, so I'm just excited. I'm thrilled. I'm ready to compete against these guys. I'm ready to talk some trash.
I love it, bro. I love the trash talk. And we have a little spunk here in New York, man. we like to talk smack. We like to get crazy. We like to have fun, you know, days of the OBJ and crazy things that he did with the catch and taking a ball to the house. Kadarius Toney can do that. This offense is legit, you know. And we have a lot of high expectations for this defense too. We think you guys could have a top 5 secondary next year with the talent that you have. And you know, when you look at the NFL, is there anyone that you model your game after? Is any specific player that you're like, that's the guy I kind of see myself being? Or you're like, I just want to be myself. I want to develop my own way. I want to be my own person. I want people to be looking at me like that's who I want.
I had that mindset, you know, back in college or my younger days. But now, you know, now that I'm here on this stage, my idols are my rivals now.
That's a great way to say it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I got one more question for you. This is you know, going back to your season last year. And then if Anthony has any other questions, you know, we'll let you go and enjoy your Saturday. But, you know, 2020 was a breakout year for you, man. You're in second team all Big 12 honors for the first time in your career. You led your team in pass deflections. What did you learn over the course of your first 4 years at Oklahoma State that you were able to put together in your senior season? You know, what was the most important part of your game that you developed in? The part that you saw, like, that's my weakness. I got to become a strength there. The Giants, I think, are going to be going more man coverage this year, press man. And you added that to your you know, arsenal of weapons that you're capable of doing as a DB. You know, how excited are you to take that step and really apply these things? And what do you think the one thing that you really learned that you developed that shaped you to become the player you are today?
Main thing is, you know, we all know, you know, I was on a roller coaster journey, you know, in my career, you know, as far as inconsistency and stuff like that, you know, but one thing that I always learned was trust the process, you know, and control what you can control. You know, I can control, you know, playing man, you know, far as zone and stuff like that. I have bad eyes, peeking early and stuff like that. So man to man, you mine. You know, so I just took really in the off season, I really just thrilled in on that, knowing that Jim knows, my old DC coach, you know, he was bringing in a lot of man, zero pressures, you know, so I was like, man, shoot, this right up my alley, let's get it done, you know, so I don't have to worry about no more zone, bad eyes, you know, really locking guys up, you know, 90% of the game, I mean, man to man, you know, so I'm ready, man, and I feel like, man, I'm at a stage of my life right now that, you know, I'm mature, you know, and I'm ready to come in and learn and get the job done and get the fans on my side.
I'll tell you what, we are on your side, my friend. We are 100% behind you. We got your back. You know, we'll be talking positivity for you always, so you don't got to worry about that. And Anthony, you got any other questions for my man Rodarius?
No, I'm out of questions. I just want to say, you know, once again, congratulations, you know, and thank you so much for coming on. We really enjoyed speaking with you and can't wait to see what you do this year. But I guess one last question, you know, I hope you have a good weekend, but tomorrow's Mother's Day. You have any plans?
My mom is actually here with me right now. Probably just take her to the mall and let her pick out a few items, you know, within the budget.
That's awesome. Well, enjoy that. I hope you have a really good Mother's Day.
Yes, sir. Same to you.
Yeah, man. You got that money. I appreciate that. I gotta go. I gotta figure out what kind of flowers I gotta get my mom. You know, you gotta treat her right. You know that. You got some money now. You got some money now. You gotta treat her right.
You got to.
Although I saw her, she had I think Greedy already hooked her up with a nice car.
Yeah, he took care of it for me.
You're good then. You got the flowers. You got the car.
Good.
That's awesome, man. Well, I hope you have an awesome weekend. Really, really appreciate you coming on to talk with us on Fireside Giants, and you're always welcome. I hope to talk to you in the future after a sick game. I can't wait to see you on the field and making some plays. And it means a lot to us that you took the time to speak to the fans and ourselves. And we're wishing you the best of luck, man. Just really enjoy this process, learn, experience it, and we'll be watching out for you, man. So great job and getting drafted, and best of luck in the future.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all guys.
Absolutely. We'll catch you later.
All right. Thank you.